I'm Jennifer Spoo-McMahon, and I'm pretty much a native Nevadan, moving to Nevada when I was only 18 months old. I grew up on a cattle alfalfa ranch 30 miles north of Gerlach, Nevada, out in Wallapai Valley. When I was growing up, we rode a school bus into Gerlach to go to school, and in my graduating class there was only 10 kids that graduated from Gerlach High School. We rode on a dirt road all the way in, and by the time I graduated from high school, they had it all paved except for perhaps 10 miles of it. We grew up without having any television, we did not have a telephone. We finally got telephone lines put in when I was about 12 years old, and we had to call a toll operator and tell her that this is Wallapai number 1 and what number we would like. And for our power, it ran through a generator. As I said before, I grew up on an alfalfa and cattle ranch, and I used to go on cattle drives, and the principal, Dave Green, did not mind if I went on the cattle drive as long as I kept my grades up in school. And I'd miss about a week of school, and we really had a lot of fun on the cattle drives. I usually would go through about 2 or 3 horses because the horses would get really tired, and I saved the horse that my cow dog Sam could ride. I went to Gerlach High School and really enjoyed high school. I played basketball, that was my favorite sport. Also ran in cross country and track. And after I graduated from high school, I moved to Sparks, Nevada, and moved in with my aunt and uncle, Jim and Jean Spoo, and went to college and obtained a paralegal degree. And then I started off by working as a legal secretary, and then moved up to becoming a paralegal, and I have done that for about 20 plus years. And during that time, when I was in my early 20s, I really missed horseback riding, and so I found a person by the name of Bob Brittman, who on the cam ready.
Oh.
In my early 20s, I met a guy named Kyle McMahon. We were later married. When we were seeing each other, we both decided on getting a dog. So our first dog together was a German short-haired pointer, and her name was Katie. And I didn't know anything about training hunting dogs because I just had a cow dog before Sam, and so I met a lady by the name of Cindy when I was taking Katie to Truckee Meadows Dog Training Club for obedience training. And Cindy told me about the German Short-Haired Pointer Club, and so I joined, and we really had a lot of fun going out to the Red Rock area and training. In 1999, my husband and I were married up in Virginia City. A few years after that, I had my first son, Andrew, and in 2004 I had my second son, Adam. I now have 2 boys, ages 12 and 9, and they belong to a few 4-H clubs. They belong to a horse one, a dog one, and a cooking 4-H club. So we keep quite busy, and they also like to play baseball. We have 2 horses now. This here is McCoy. He's a Missouri Foxtrotter. And then we have Sebastian, and he's a Hanoverian. We also have some German short-haired pointer dogs, and I'm back training dogs again now, and we're really enjoying ourselves. I really enjoy horseback riding, and I have ridden quite a lot in this area. When I was growing up, I used to train horses when I was a teenager, and most of my friends were out babysitting. I was busy training problem horses, or maybe I should say retraining horses. And I've ridden a lot out here in Spanish Springs where I live. I've also ridden on Peavine Mountain. One of my favorite places to ride is at Washoe Lake. I've even swam a horse that I had for 28 years and recently passed away. Her name was Kalima Sudana. She was an Arabian mare. and I used to swim with her in Washoe Lake and had some really good times there. My family and I also enjoy fishing out at Pyramid Lake and fishing on the Carson and Truckee River. That's a lot of fun. One of the reasons my husband and I bought a house out in Spanish Springs, because we originally lived in the old Southwest in Reno, was because we both realized we loved the outdoors so much, and we'd have to load up our truck in town and bring everything out into the country. So out in Spanish Springs, it gives us the best of both worlds. We can literally go out across the street and be on BLM land and go horseback riding, and I think you could go all the way out to Pyramid Lake and there's not one single fence. We also enjoy hiking, biking, hunting, and as I mentioned, horseback riding and training German Shorthair Pointer dogs. And boys are now getting started with training their 2 puppies. They each have a puppy now. I would also like to mention, I think I would make a great Carson Valley writer storyteller, because I know a lot about Nevada, the history, and I have written in a lot of Nevada, the northern part, anywhere from the Reno and Sparks area, Washoe Valley, clear out to past Gerlach and Wallapai Valley, and all up in those mountains, Granite Mountain, Red Mountain, and this here is Kitzel, my son Andrew's dog, little German Shorthair Pointer puppy. She's 3 months old. So in closing, I would like to say, I think I would make a great Carson Valley writer, storyteller, because I love Nevada. I've been in Nevada for 45 years. I know the history. I've been in the outdoors. Nevada has a great playground. It's wonderful. You can be in the city and get out to the country within 20 minutes on all directions. And I think it's a great place to raise a family, and it's a great place to have fun, and there's just so much that everyone can do together, and I love Nevada. Thank you. I hope you pick me.